Hi, welcome to my channel. I did 3 thrift flips for today's video. I got this drawer set at American Thrift and there was a half price sale on that day, so I got it for only $2.50. I'm just going to take the drawers out, and I don't know who thought of putting roosters on chairs, but I definitely had to make this over. So I'm just taking my finger sander and I'm just going over all the edges and stuff and smoothing them out because it was a wee bit bashed up. I didn't want these knobs on the drawers, so I just got a hammer and hammered them off because they were glued in. Then I took my finger sander and I just sanded over the fronts of the drawers. There was some sticky tape holding the drawers in. It was wrapped around this when I bought it, and it did rip off that part you see there. So I just sanded it down smooth, and then you can't notice it once it's painted. These stickers are from Dollar Tree, and I have 2 packs of them. And I already put some on these 2 drawers, so I'm just going to show you me putting them on the last drawer. And 1 strip was enough for each drawer. I had planned on using some air dry clay and molds to put on these, but then I just couldn't be bothered doing it. So I thought, what stickers do I have? And I remembered that I have these, and I'm glad that I went with these instead of the air dry clay. And then I painted everything with some of the Dusk Waverly chalk paint. I gave the drawers 2 coats all over, but then the fronts of the drawers I did do an extra coat, so they got a third coat. Yeah, third coat. 3 coats on the front of the drawers. And this is such a pretty colour. I really love it. I'm gonna have to find some other stuff to use it on. And then I gave this part 3 coats of the paint. Next, I used some silver leaf Robin Buff. And I'm just going to rub that over those stickers to bring out the design. And then I'm going to rub it all over the front of the drawers and the edges. And then I rub it all over this piece as well. When I was going to use the air dry clay and the molds for this, I was going to use some white wax. So I did try that on one of the drawers and I didn't like how it looked. So I repainted it, and then I went with the silver Robin Buff. And then I'm just using a brush to get into the parts where my finger can't get to. These wee knobs are from Amazon. I will link them down below. They're like a bronzy colour, so I'm just changing the colour of them with the silver Robin Buff. And now I'm putting everything back together. And then for the knobs, the screws that came with them are not long enough to go through the drawer. So I'm just going to use some hot glue and some Fix-All from Dollar Tree to glue them on. Then I sprayed it all with this chalked matte clear spray paint. And then this is how it turned out, and I think it turned out beautiful. And the silver is just subtle, it's not like bright silver on it, and I think it goes really nice with the paint, with the colour of the paint. Definitely an improvement on the roosters on the chairs. So I got these two frames at American Thrift and they were $2.99 each. And I'm just going to show you me doing one of them. But they did have some chips in them. They're made out of wood and they had some chips. And I would have just left them like that and put them on the wall. But Fabian noticed the chips, so I have to make them over. So I took out the glass and then I gave the frame a wipe down because they were quite dirty, you'll see on the paper towel. I'm going to take this Spanish copper rubbing buff and then I'm going to rub it over all the raised parts on the frame. I did really like how they looked without this, but I had to cover up the chips and I couldn't replicate the silver colour, so I am using this and I do really like how they turned out. And then the little bits that were chipped, I'm just using a brush to get in there to cover it up. You could always just paint them, but I didn't want to. I wanted to keep some of that silver colour. Didn't have anything to put in the frame, so I'm going to use this wallpaper from Dollar Tree. I'm just using the glass to measure how much I will need. And I was lucky I could use one sheet for both frames. So just marking it off with a pencil. And then I'm just going to cut it out with some scissors. I cleaned the glass off camera and now I'm just going to put everything back together. This glass had like, I don't know, it wasn't like clear glass. You can't notice it when the picture's inside it, but I don't know, you can see there. And I'm just going to put the wallpaper in like that. I'm not going to stick it to the back or anything because I will change this out when I find some artwork. And I love how they turned out. I just need to find a place to put them now. I got this wee rocking chair at Goodwill for $4 and I didn't like the colour of it, so I'm using some citrus strip to strip off the stain and varnish. I had to do it outside, so I'm holding the camera. I just wanted to show me a little tiny clip of me putting it on. It was moving about because I didn't have my other hand wasn't free. So I'll just show you a little bit me putting it on and then I do the rest off camera. The bottle says you can leave it for 30 minutes or you can leave it overnight. So I chose to leave it overnight. So I put these bags covering it, but I actually left it for 2 nights. I'm 7 months pregnant now and I forgot about it and then I was too tired. So I put another layer of the citrus strip on because it dried out a bit, and then I left it for a couple of hours this time, and then this is me just scraping it off. So this is all I scraped off, and then I took it to the sink and then I scrubbed it with a brush to get everything off. It was still work to brush it off, and I used a sponge scourer as well. But it was easier standing at the sink doing it than scraping this outside. I thought it was going to be an easy job, but it was a bit harder than I thought it was going to be. But this is what it looked like after I'd scraped it all off. My plan was to bleach it after I scraped the stuff off, but I really liked how it looked, so I used some feeding wax on it. And this is how it turned out, and I love how it turned out. It just looks like a wee antique rocking chair now, and yeah, I'm glad I didn't bleach it. I really love how the wood looks. So let me know which one of these is your favourite. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!